नई रोशनी, नया विश्वास। पीसी ज्वेलर, नए जमाने के हीरे।
Thank you, India, for uncompromising. The Elite i20 is the Indian Car of the Year 2015.
Hyundai.
Intex's innovative marketing strategies and exhaustive product portfolio have been instrumental in its double-digit growth and turning it into a global electronics company. Presenting incredible achievers, brands and leaders.
Last financial year, 13-14, we clocked a turnover of more than 2,000 plus crores. This year, as a group, we are eyeing a turnover of around 4,000 plus crores.
A special feature series on visionary entrepreneurs and the unique brands they have created, putting India in the economic super league. Only on ET Now. Brought to you by BoySpot.
Baba, today is the last day to pay my school fees.
Uri Baba, don't worry. I will do something.
Baroda M Connect for fund transfer, mobile recharge and many more. Now get super solutions with Bob Mitra. Those you can bank on. Bank of Baroda, India's international bank.
आपसे झूठ बोला था ना, तो नींद नहीं आ रही थी.
You take care.
कितना चैन होता है ना सच्चाई में. किनले, बूंद बूंद में सच्चाई.
People, India's most skilled craftsmen. Policies, generating over 200,000 new jobs. Power, ample power supply. There's a new will in Bengal. Find out at the Bengal Global Business Summit. Come to Bengal. Ride the growth.
What does success sound like? Or could it be something more? Be remembered for good. Seagram's 100 Pipers True Legend.
हाँ जी मैडम, कौन सा? ये वाला हाँ जी. 50,000 है. गोल्ड में इन्वेस्ट करूं या स्टॉक्स में? हाँ?
कहीं आप भी इन्वेस्टमेंट एडवाइस ऐसे तो नहीं लेते? फंड छोटी हो या बड़ी, आपको देता है सही एडवाइस हमेशा. BMA Wealth Creators. I depend on it. So can you.
Thank you, India, for uncompromising. The Elite i20 is the Indian Car of the Year 2015.
Hyundai.
Welcome back. You're watching BNSM, the stock game. Let's quickly take a look at the markets. Up first, we're seeing the Nifty swinging between gains and losses. However, is managing to hold up in the green zone, high by about just marginal 5 points is what Nifty is gaining. And Sensex, though, on the downside, losing just about 0.5%. But how is the F&O side of the market really panning out? For that, let's go across to Darshan Mehta.
Well, Kamya, if you're looking at the futures premium, it has come down significantly. Yesterday, after close, it was over 100 points. Now it's pretty much between the 65 to 70 mark. What we're seeing is that flows are absolutely muted in trade today, because of the holiday season. Most of the FI desks are not working. So, volumes will be a problem in trade for the next, at least not now, but at least for the next few days. And also yesterday was expiry with, 2 days ago it was expiry. And in the last 5-10 minutes, in the last half hour of trade, there was significant amount of selling pressure that came in. So people are being more cautious in trade currently. 8,000 to 8,300 is where where put writers are active, and call writers are active in levels from 8,300 to 8,600. Now in trade, banking stocks are doing extremely well in trade, and especially it's the PSU smaller mid-cap banks which are outperforming even the larger banks and even the private banks. Oil and metals are not doing well in trade today. They are a little lackluster in trade. Stock specific, if you're looking at it, among the Nifty counters, PNB, Bank of Baroda, SBI, These are the top three gainers. Even if you're looking at the top all the top open interest gainers, or even if you're looking at the price gainers, most of them are the PSU banks. So if you're looking at OBC, open interest is up 17%, fresh buying. Union Bank open interest is up 14%, fresh buying, one of the top FNO gainers in trade. Bank of India is seeing fresh buying on open interest build up of 12%. So the banking space is extremely active in trade today. The other counters which are in focus, HPCL is seeing fresh shorts on open interest build up of 3%, and NMDC continues its weak trend. Open interest is up almost 4%, and fresh shorts are seen on the counter.
Right, thank you so much, Darshan, for joining in with a quick snapshot of all that's brewing in the F&O. And meanwhile, let's get started with the stock game as well. And remember, today is the last and final day for this week. And well, first up, a look at the rules. We have three experts who join us for the entire week. They're given a notional amount of 5 lakh rupees, which they distribute across 4 stocks. Now, as per the rules, 2 of those stocks have to be changed every single day. And if you have a target or a stop loss that's triggered, that stock is also replaced for the following day. And they also have the option of picking out a stock from the F&O markets. And it's on Friday, the last trading day of the week, whichever is earlier. That's when we declare the winner, depending on whoever makes the most amount of money. So let's introduce the 3 experts who've been with us this entire week. We've had Sameer Chavan, who's a technical analyst at Angel Broking, Siddhartha Chatterjee, country head at Trustline Securities, as well as Rajesh Sharma, technical analyst at Bezel Group. Gentlemen, great to have you all with us. And well, let's get started with your first ideas for today. And well, Samit had picked out a Hexaware that he was buying into. And Samit, the stock, however, has been on a bit of a slide, this entire week. Last Friday at levels of about 206, 207. It's lost about 10 odd rupees from those levels, but you think it still looks good for a buy?
Yes, good morning, Megha. Hexaware has been falling since last 10-12 trading sessions from its recent high of 230. It has now reached its strong support zone, which is the daily 89 EMA, placed around 190, 191, which coincides with the 61% Fibonacci retracement level of the recent up move as well. So I believe that the stock is trading around the strong support zone. And looking at the overall oversold placement of the daily momentum oscillators, I expect the stock to give a technical bounce. So this technical bounce could be somewhere around 203, 205, which I'm playing for.
Okay, Samit expecting a technical bounce in Hexaware. However, unfortunately, he has been stopped out on that counter for today. Let's speak to Siddharth then with his first pick on SKS Microfinance. Siddharth, the stock has been doing very well. Your target has already been achieved. In fact, over the last 1 month, the stock has gained more than 23%. How do you think it's shaping up, and is your call backed by technicals or fundamentals of the company?
Well, I'll first go by the fundamentals, and I think there has been substantial change in the way the business of microfinance is taking shape. They are to be considered as regional player in Andhra Pradesh mainly. There were issues of corporate governance at some point of time. The stock came down sub 100. I think things improved from there. And with the ensuing budget, may describe or spell out issues regarding microfinance. That's what my understanding would be. I think this stock has places to go. Technically, it is supporting. The price actions are quite good, exhibiting kind of positive divergence over the market. And in fact, when Nifty is about 400 points lower than the all-time high, SKS Micro is still inching up every day. In fact, I believe it made also another high today at this point of time. Not that, it's being able to sustain. That doesn't matter. I think SKS Micro Finance should be part of buying idea for traders as well as investors.
And it's been one smart story for this year. It's up about 3.5 rupees right now as well. And keep in mind, just a few days ago, you had UBS as well coming out with a report on the stock. They said how it's looking good. They expect strong growth on their
AUM front as well, and they were talking about a longer-term target of 500 rupees. Meanwhile, let's move away from an SKS Micro and talk about a Torrent Power, which Rajesh had picked out as his first pick for the day. And Rajesh, great run on a Torrent Power so far this year. In fact, it's trading quite close to its 52-week highs as well. And just in the last, 10 to 20 odd minutes, we've seen a smart up move as well creeping in.
Well, morning Megha and morning to our viewers. Unfortunately I've been stopped out in the counter, but this is one stock which I have been recommending on your channel since the price of 120, 130 levels. And in fact, after a long consolidation of 4-5 months, the stock had given a breakout just 2-3 trading days back. So technically also it's looking, the signals are a little mixed because the markets are pretty sluggish for the last couple of days. So stock has lost a little bit of momentum in between, but it is still masquerading around its 52-week highs. Though I have been stopped out in the counter, but we have been pretty bullish in the stock since 100 odd levels, and we've been recommending it to have it in a long-term portfolio. In the very near term, I feel the stock can touch, after breaking is 175 and after this breakout, I feel the stock can touch levels of 200 in the near term. And in long term, if somebody holds it for about a year or two, I think even 350 levels are possible. The live highs are 380 for the counter.
Okay, that's a very optimistic call coming in on Torrent Power. The stock is up in trade in today's session. Let's discuss Sameet's next pick, which is on a JSW Steel, a buy call on that one. Sameet, what is it that you like about JSW Steel? You've placed out a target of 1,080. Did touch the high of 1,044 in today's session, but how many trading sessions would you foresee before your target price is met?
See, Kamya, what we think is the metal has undergone a strong correction in last 3-4 months. But what we feel is that the price-wise correction is almost done, and the overall metal sector is now likely to consolidate and it is trading around support zone. For the JSW Steel, I believe that 990,000 should act as a strong support zone. Recently, it gave a sharp bounce back, and it is again now coming back from that 1080, 1090 mark. So I believe around 1020, 1015 the stock should take a strong support, and there's a possibility of immediate bounce purely looking at the oversold position of momentum oscillator. So yes, I've given a target of 1080. There's a possibility that it might extend it to 1100, 1110. It may not happen so soon. It might take 1 or 2 weeks.
So Sameet's expecting a technical bounce to come into a JSW Steel. It could extend, in fact, over the next week or so as well. 1100 possibly could also be seen on a JSW Steel. Meanwhile, let's move away from metals and talk about banks once again. And a Yes Bank specifically, one of the top private sector names that a lot of experts have been recommending. In fact, just in terms of what people are expecting from a Yes Bank, you had Edelweiss talking about how they see their return on assets at about 1.8%. They're expecting that the bank would also improve its net interest margins by 17. Not just that, Siddhartha, what a move the bank and the stock has already given us so far in 2014. What do you think holds out for this bank for the new year?
Interest-sensitive stocks could be a good play in 2015 because it's more or less accepted that there has to be some kind of interest rate cut by the Reserve Bank of India going forward. I think the basic work of taming the inflation should have been over if we try to read the mind of the RBI governor. Now, how fast he will do it or when will he do it is two different questions. The fact remains it should get done. Now, in an interest-sensitive regime, I think all the PSU banks which have been, down, they should also start moving up. I'm giving a 3 months period of time. Along with them, Yes Bank or an IndusInd Bank also are candidates where one should be able to find upward movements. The market today is a kind of a failure to rally, so maybe I have been stopped out. That is not the issue. Issue is that on lower side, Yes Bank definitely warrants an attention for buying part. So keep that in mind, and that should be what the traders should keep in mind regarding buying of Yes Bank at dips, deep dips. It's a good buy.
Okay, a good buy is what Yes Bank is, according to Siddharth. However, he has been stopped out on today's call that he had on Yes Bank. Rajesh, your next pick is a buy call on Mangalam Cement. Now, a lot of cement stocks have been in focus. In fact, just yesterday, top gainers were all cement stocks. But Mangalam Cement, you've been stopped out on that one. And why did you